Hello again, Struckwap. Welcome back, another day of streaming with Keela, farming gear for her, trying to get those builds better, trying to get the builds better and the gear better. So yeah, back to the green items grind in Chaosbane. Feel free to join me if you want to. Just a second, I am going to see if all the streams are running. Okay, we're good to go, everything seems fine. So here it is. I would do quickly another run like last night, but I'm gonna switch, I'm gonna turn it down to Chaos 7 so just that the runs go smoother and faster. I'm gonna do a bit of relic hunting and then maybe I can do some more invasions after that, trying to push towards invasion rank 19. But for now this, some relic hunts. Relic hunt seems much easier to do than invasion runs sometimes, depending on the invasion modifiers, I guess. Because with relic hunts you can kind of start a new one if you don't like the modifiers, but with invasions you're stuck to specific modifiers and you can't do anything about the invasion modifiers. Thankfully this build doesn't get that affected when the cooldowns are increased, other than maybe not being able to do duelist chain reaction maxed out, but that's fine. I'm just spamming the turrets to keep the duelist chain reaction going, if you're wondering why I'm doing that. Alright, he's tanky. Did he buff himself? And the buff ended. So for now I will need to farm more blessing fragments. As you can see, I'm super low on the green and red ones. Because that's the ones I've been using for HP damage combos. I still haven't even started experimenting with other blessing combos to try like damage over time builds and stuff like that, but that's gonna come later. I didn't have much time to farm, so I'm just continuing where I left off last night. I could probably start doing the build videos tomorrow. Tomorrow maybe I can post the first build video I'm planning, probably for the build I'm playing right now. Then I can move on to doing the other ones. I was planning on getting more green gear, but this one doesn't even seem to need that much more green gear to be able to do some of the harder content the game can offer. And this is what I like about this set. It may not have that much damage, but the survivability is definitely there, as long as you keep it going and try to keep the stacks building to get that damage reduction stacking. And the best thing about Chaos 7, I don't even need all the damage reduction I can get. Now there was a buffer here. Did not notice this guy. So who do we kill first? This guy? Or the other ones? I'm really gonna be happy if I get one of those pistols, but in green, the corroder. Let's pick up some junk to sell. And chest time. Not as fast as a braggy, jumpy build clearing speed with the spamminess of the rushing that braggy can get. But at least we can spam the hammers. We can spam the hammers, keep those hammers going down all the time, without needing cooldown reduction like braggy needs on anvil builds. Definitely the hammer time build. Cooldowns increased, okay, that's fine. First sell though. Crit chance 11, mine is with 12. Siegebreaker with crit chance. I'm gonna save that Siegebreaker just in case mine isn't better. I remember having a green Siegebreaker somewhere. Actually, two of them. Yeah, that one here has crit chance, so the one I just got is useless. I mean, I could save it if someone else needs it, but it's red gear. Right, next, another Chaos 7 map. I will do some more invasions later, just wanna get some warm up from this. Although invasions could have been considered a warm up, because the ones I've got so far are not the high level invasions. But I really wanna push the next rank on invasions. I really wanna unlock rank 19 in my invasion 3 today, to start farming some gear there with better wood quality than what I can get from the relic hunts. Ah, don't run. He wasted my god skill and he ran away. But I'm loving this mini game of having to chase the circle. It's like the damage is not there all the time, but when it is there, it is nice. Of course, if I get a good what's its name? Good forge butt. If I get a good forge butt, like a green one, I would be happy to use that one. On bosses it would be nice. On regular enemies it's gonna take a while to get the burning stacks, to get the most out of it, because you have to get 100 stacks to get the 300 damage out of a forge butt. So each stack is 3% extra damage taken, whereas this one is always 200% as long as the enemy is in the circle. But with the turrets, I can build up those stacks easy. I can get, what is it, 5 turrets up at the same time. So they can build those stacks on bosses super quickly for that bonus damage. I really wish my melee attack was burning, but it doesn't. It's just physical. I was assuming it would be fire together with the stun. I was assuming it would be like a mix. The most damage I've done so far with this build has been 59 million last night, which for my gear seems like a pretty okay number with this 200% damage circle. And this can be higher with the Forge Blood, it can be higher. And hey Zedicus, Sky is sleeping neatly, cuddled up in a ball. I would give him a petting after this map, and nice to see you again, Zed. Zed, which hero are you playing? And first, are you playing this game, Zed? And if yes, what hero did you create? Are you playing Keela or one of the older ones? Come on, come on.
Dwarven flames consume you, forged by the gods.
And hammer time. Oh well, wrong button there. Didn't give him the hammer. So you're playing Keela, that's nice. Oh, you're trying the soldier, okay. You're trying the soldier. That's cool. Soldier is fun. Soldier is your, well, at least used to be before the patch, the meta setup for pushing. He was super strong for pushing and surviving at the same place. But yeah, soldier is fun. Not my favorite hero. It's actually my least favorite hero, but doesn't mean he's bad, just not the right fit for me. I was expecting probably more from it, that's why. But he's got all the things you need. He's got the damage, he's got the survivability up his sleeve, so everything you need on a character, Conrad's got it. Let's see, another grand relic hunt. Pendant of the Rebel with damage and crit chance. Might actually keep this one. You wanted to start with something easy. Yeah, Conrad is kind of good for the end game. He's not that easy while leveling. While leveling, I found Bragi, Evontir, and Telessa from the old ones to be a little bit faster. Not easier, but faster when it comes to mobility. Conrad still has pushed through the ranks, which definitely helps. But Conrad for the end game is definitely the easy one if you build it well. If you go for like a crit chance based on block chance setup and a ton of damage reduction and some extra damage and block chance stacking, you would be fine with Conrad. And he got buffed. The only thing that got nerfed is Blade of Vengeance. Just so that people start using other weapons, not just blade. That's probably the main reason why they nerfed the Blade of Vengeance. Yet again, actually it got nerfed with the Tom King's patch 2. So second time in a row they're nerfing Blade of Vengeance. But with the Tomb Kings they didn't really nerf it. They kind of just rebalanced it. But at least now on Conrad people would start using other things, and Magnus's gift got buffed up. The Meteoric Iron Shield also got buffed up, so a lot of things on Conrad got improved to open up more options rather than people using the same two items as weapon and offhand. And if you're not doing the hardest content, the Pistolier build on Conrad was super nice for damage. By the way, I forgot to post on the Discord that I'm live. Just gonna quickly copy my message from yesterday. Just a second. Community live streams. Alright, ready. I could also open up my game to the public. If someone wants help, maybe there's people playing the game right now since an update was recently released, so let's do make game public. I don't want Forges of Known Story. Seriously? Forges of Known Story is what it's telling me? Wow. That's the worst thing that it could ask me to pick. And it didn't let me. Maybe I need to be in the town to pick something else. I want to just do free roaming, so anyone doing anything can join. I'm in the mood to help someone get some XP and farming done. There might be new players. If there was crossplay it would have been nice, because as I said, there's more console players than PC players probably right now playing that. This healing, look at that healing. I'm not sure if the map cannot be stunned. Yeah, that explains why I couldn't stun it. I keep getting this modifier when I can't stun them. Stunning the healers is the best way to deal with their healing. Oh, perfect. They lined up in the same place. This melee guy came to the ranger. That played out very well. Better than I expected. I was planning on getting the melee guy after I killed the ranger, but he made things easy for me. Griffith? Better than Java and Path of Exile? No. Far from it. Far from it. This game is copying Diablo 3, but it's copying mostly the bad stuff. Mostly the bad stuff in Diablo 3 is getting copied. But it is a game you can play with multiple people on the same computer. So it is the one and only game I think you can do couch co-op on PC. And it's the only Warhammer fantasy world. Is it Age of Sigmar, this one? The only Age of Sigmar game that we've got right now. So if you're a Warhammer fan, you can definitely have a little bit of fun. But think of this game as a single player game. Yes, it does have multiplayer, but the player base on Steam is very low. There's barely any people playing it apart from when there's updates, recent updates. There's more console people playing it than PC, as I just said a few minutes ago. It's still a fun game, it still looks good enough. The animations are smooth, so they got the easy part, the visuals, well, but the core, the soul of the game is kind of, I don't know, it feels lacking when it comes to the endgame systems being so restrictive and repetitive, and the itemization being a poorer version of Diablo itemization. Let's see. Yes, there are various builds and there are set items. So basically for armor you only have sets. You have 4 different sets for each hero. Each set gives you a heroic active or heroic passive skill. And the heroic skill basically... The heroic skill is a stronger version of the non-heroic, which costs 0 points to equip. So you have 100 points and then you spend those 100 points or on skills and passives. You have basic skills that grant you energy, and then you have advanced skills. So each skill has a basic version, superior and mastered version. So for example, this is physical, this is fire with more energy, this is again physical but with less energy, but has a chance to repel enemies. So you can see there are some small differences. Like this is machine gun turret, this is rocket turret, this is flamethrower turret. But if you're playing with the turret set, you have a turret that shoots machine guns, shoots rockets and shoots flames. So 3 in 1 with the heroic version of the skill. And it's very limited when it comes to items, as I said. It's just one set for one skill, another set for another. You have 4 sets to pick. So you can see this set gives me some bonuses like damage reduction, damage, and gives me the heavy pounding skill being heroic. Then you have unique rings, unique weapon and offhand, and unique amulet. This brings it to a total of 10 pieces of equipment, 5 of which are set, the other 5 are not. And you can mix a green set item with a red set item, the same way you can do in Diablo. But here it's reversed, it's not like in Diablo red being the best, green is the best. You can see green has one more stat and the stats on the green are higher. I'm gonna try and show you something just so you can see. So you can see this builder's helmet red and builder's helmet green. You can see what the difference is. See, the green helmet gives me 18,000 HP, the red one gives me 10 up to 11,000 HP, but the green one can go to 20, so it's like almost twice the HP. The armor is pretty much higher. The counterattack damage is kind of close to double. So you can see green obviously has the better stats and has one more extra stat slot. And you can mix and match green with red and still have the set bonuses. So they're the same set, one is just like ancient items in Diablo. So apart from passives and actives, you have god skills, which also have active god skills and passive god skills. You have 2 different god skill trees in which you wanna be spending points. So just to show you the list of things, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 god skills for this character. Some might have a little bit more active god skills. And then when it comes to passive god skills, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 I think. And then there's some other skills that you get by completing the story. balance-wise, the game has been struggling balance-wise, but I think with this version they introduced a little bit more balancing. I've not played my old heroes yet to tell you how the balance affects them, but from what I can tell, everyone became stronger, and they added 2 new difficulties. In the winter they added Chaos 8, and now 2 days ago they added Chaos 9 and Chaos 10, which is kind of like torment levels in Diablo. You don't need to be farming in those, but the XP there is better. Definitely better XP there, and better wood quality. So if you wanna be farming, each difficulty gives you 300 more wood quality. So if I go to Chaos 10 just as a test, you're gonna see that, just to see how the XP goes. And you have something like the Paragon levels in Diablo as well. I'm gonna show you just a second. Wanna sell some of the gear I don't need. And you can also give items to people. If someone is in my game and I drop an item on the ground, they would be able to get it. So there is no trade window if I remember correctly. Maybe there was a trade window, but I rarely use it. I just drop items for people on the ground. Bosses can be a big challenge, especially if you go on a high difficulty. So I can show you how I can get one shot. Let's show you a one shot. So boss rushes, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bosses. And now we're going to Chaos 10. Chaos 10 boss rush. I'm not gonna complete it because I'm gonna get one shot without building stacks. But you can see this boss would be super difficult to beat on Chaos 10 with my setup, with my gear. So bosses can be a super hard challenge, but they're not the best source of items. Like, bosses are probably better done when you're playing an easier difficulty. If you're playing them on easier difficulty, bosses can be fine, because you can kill them quickly and get some nice fast items from them. So you can see it, not only the boss is hard to kill, but the items that heal the boss on Chaos 10 would be hard to kill. I'm gonna give up and show you the same boss fights on a lower difficulty, so you can just see the difference. So it can be difficult, it can be hard. So let's show you Chaos 4 maybe. Keep in mind this boss is not the best to be doing on the build I'm playing, because my build is close range, so I might even get my ass kicked at Chaos 4, because I need to be near the boss. But I can switch to a ranged build and do it. If I switch to a ranged build, this boss won't take more than 1 or 2 minutes. But with the melee it's not that great. Never mind, I got him, there we go. No materials to summon it, but you have to do the story. Yes, you have to do the storyline to unlock it. But yes, no materials to summon it, and that's why it's great to farm those bosses if you want. And then there's invasions. Invasions don't get affected by the difficulty you pick here. Each invasion node has its own difficulty. So regardless whether I select Chaos 10 or not, each invasion here would have its own difficulty and its own map modifiers. So you can see it starts from normal, then it goes to hard, and the further you go, the more corruption you get. Corruption is basically the percentage of corruption, means that number in percentages of HP was per second. So this is 3% HP was per second, this is 5% HP lost per second while you're inside there, This is 9% HP loss per second, and this is 10% HP loss per second. And you can get up to 60% corruption resistance from those 4 nodes. I'm at 30% resistance, so that means almost 1/3 of this gets reduced. So that would mean this, instead of 10% HP loss per second, would go to 7, and with 60% this would be 4% HP loss per second if I were to do it when I take those 2 nodes. So there's a way of doing this, and you can unlock special skills such as this one from this invasion. I haven't gotten an answer, Gawain. On the Discord channel, if you're there, you can see I've asked back in December, does resistance to damage over time, this one, resistance to damage over time, does this help against corruption damage? And I'm still to get an answer from the developers. So, do they even care about the questions? There's a Ask Me Anything section, and no one is answering in the Ask Me Anything section. And yes, lifesteal is something new. Lifesteal got added with this update, so lifesteal is great. With lifesteal, invasion becomes much easier to deal with. As long as you're dealing damage, you would be fine.
Let my dwarven flames consume you.
So with the invasion, there's different nodes. Some of them would be survive a wave or 2, others would be just kill some enemies, kill the creature, and then you're done. And they did make it. I mean, I also was saying that the legendary level needs to be account-wide. Kentura says, hey man, Conrad question. I use Grudge set where plus Meteoric Shield, plus Meteoric set, counter-attack base build, plus Sigmar's Blessing, God skill. Currently doing Chaos 5 decently. What set weapon shield should I use for 8, 9, 10? I would suggest the Solan's Justice set. Solan's Justice used to be the strongest. If you want a build video, look this up. Holy Justice build. This is my build from December for Conrad, for the Solan's Justice. If you want, I can even give you a link to that video. I just need a moment to find it. Holy Justice. Okay, there we go. Here's the link to all my chats. So, a lot of things have changed, but basically Conrad is now stronger. The legendary ranks have been nerfed a bit, but you get legendary ranks faster. And the one thing that got nerfed would be the grudge set, the Blade of Vengeance. The Blade of Vengeance got nerfed, but it's fine. It's still gonna be strong, so that's the build you wanna be using to pushing that setup. You can use the same passives and actives and god skills for any set, but it works the best with Solant. The only problem you would have would be with cooldown reduced maps. There you might wanna build a pistolier setup for cooldown reduced maps. I've also got a pistolier build video as well from then, and thank you very much for the follow. So yeah, I wanna push a little bit of invasions, but I will go back to farming some relic hunts as well. I will go back to farming some relic hunts. But with invasions is where the wood quality is. The higher you push, the better the wood quality. Every invasion rank is 100, so you can kind of calculate how much wood quality you can get at the higher levels compared to doing relic hunts. Relic hunts can take you so far. Even on Chaos 10 a relic hunt would not be that better, but relic hunts would be the best way to get XP. If you can speedrun even without killing the boss Chaos 10 relic hunts, if you can handle the elites and the trash mobs, you can get a lot of XP there, if you want XP. Even if you can't handle the bosses and are just doing it for the XP. Another way of cheesing the game has always been getting a very mobile character that can survive, and just instead of fighting the enemies, go to the highest difficulty on a relic hunt and open chests to try and get items. It's not the best way, but if you wanna cheese it, you can do it. But you might get one shot if you don't have damage reduction, so I suggest not doing it. It's much better to just speedrun Chaos 5, Chaos 6, whatever you can handle, and do that, and do invasions. But yeah, Conrad with the Sowens set is probably the strongest. As I said, I've not played after the patch on the other heroes. After the patch I've only played on this one. So I can't tell you how much stronger they are, but from the patch notes I can tell you everyone got a buff. Everyone should be stronger, and that makes sense, because they added 2 more difficulties, so we need that damage and survivability for those new difficulties. Yeah, I include a lot of information in my videos, so whatever you don't need you would of course be skipping. I've received a lot of comments from people that my videos could be shorter, but there's also other people that love those longer videos with the big explanations. So I tried to do my best to make them shorter and still have all the info needed. So I kind of like the final videos that I released on December for Chaosbane have been a bit shorter, like 10 minutes shorter or 7-8 minutes shorter, but I was using more text on screen regarding some things like suggested items and stuff like that. Of course, in the video you would not hear anything about Wife Leech, Wife Drain, Health Drain. So keep in mind, Health Drain is great. On any build, on any class, Health Drain is amazing. And back when the videos were made, Health Drain didn't exist. So don't be surprised why I'm not saying anything about it. It's a great stat. It's a great stat and it should be there in your items if you can get it. Especially on builds like Sowen's build. That Sowen's build, now the meteors are falling faster, meaning the meteors would be proccing the health drain faster, and they would keep you up. Together with spamming the pew 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 for healing with the amulet, that pendant, was it Bloodstone? The medal that oh, it's Thrice Blessed Copper Medal, I think. The one that gives you God Skills Heal. I can't remember all the names of all the items, but I think that was called Thrice Blessed on Conrad. You definitely need an amulet that lets you get healed when using God Skills. What's my wood quality right now? 3,500, barely worth even opening those chests. This is the boring part. The boring part is doing the WoW level invasions. They're just not gonna be that challenging. Let's see, Builder's Gauntlets. I wanna compare Builder's Gauntlets. Yeah, I don't need those. By the way, if anyone needs items for Bragi, for Evontir, for Elessa, or for Keela, let me know. For Keela I can give you red. For Bragi, for Elessa, and for Evontir I can give you green. For Conrad, unfortunately, I don't have that much gear in my stash, because I kind of gave it away. But I still have some gear for Conrad on the character's inventory. So if you need some green items, let me know. I can always log in on that character. Blaze assets to the blaze set. Blaze helmet, okay. I can give you one of those helmets as well for Kiwa if you want them. Just gotta decide which one I don't need. Oberok, there isn't a website where you can see the set bonuses, but you can watch my video for that. I uploaded a video yesterday, and you can go to 11 minutes 20 seconds. Just a second, I'm gonna give you the link, and you can see all the set bonuses, but it's even better if I just show you the bonuses. So instead of you watching a video, just have a look at the set bonuses. You don't need to be watching a video when I'm streaming. So this is damage over time and critical hit damage from fire skill increases based on overheating level. So basically you can get 100 crit damage and 1200 damage over time. And then you get a heroic version of this passive skill. This is what you get, heroic version of this one. So one of my viewers yesterday told me a strong build to do with this one. With this one you basically want to be using Excavation Mastered. I still haven't min-maxed the build, but he said use Excavation Mastered, use more Grim Smite. I'm not that big of a fan of it really, so I'm gonna think of other ways of building this with more damage reduction, less damage. Because for me I'd rather survive than do more damage. So I'm probably gonna go for something completely different when building for that one. Probably something like this. Something like this would probably be better. Just need to find some points, but yeah, this is just a basic example of how you might wanna be building that. Now I can show you the other sets first. Let's show you the other sets. So this is Powder Carrier, which is basically the mortar set. Damage from all explosives is increased. Being hit by an enemy has a chance to drop a bomb. So 100% extra damage from explosions. Mortar is a nice skill, so you get this thing here. Wait, this thing. Heroic Mortar. a lot of coverage, you can see pretty nice heroic skill. And then you've got this set, the heroic turret set. So with this set you can see you've got heroic turrets. I can't show you unless there's enemies, but basically this turret is a combination of all three turrets. It shoots with a machine gun, it shoots rockets, and it can burn enemies. Mortar is amazing. Mortar can be nice. Well, Gwaine, if you need help with red items on Keela, I can help you. I can even save you this helmet, the Blaze helmet. And then there is the melee set. The melee set gives me heavy pounding heroic. And the melee set also increases my melee damage by giving me ingenuity charges. I can't show you the charges right now because I'm not fighting enemies, but basically this can give me up to 50 stacks of 5% damage per stack and up to 50 stacks of 0.5 damage reduction. So that's what, 250 damage for melee attacks. Actually it's damage for everything, but generated from melee attacks, and that's another 25% damage reduction. Which is why I love it. The damage reduction is why I love it. Let's just try and show you whether I can survive Chaos 10. Chaos 10 Relic Hunt. Let's just do it. For the XP. Just trying to pick something that's not annoying. That's not permanent reduction of the armor, of the cooldowns. Heroes Constantly Bleed is one of the best things I can get for myself. Heroes Constantly Bleed keeps building up my resistance stacks, my damage reduction stacks. Because every time I get hit, I get a stack. And if I don't keep getting hit, see those stacks here. So bleeding builds those stacks up. So you can see why I love this bleeding. Although that's a lot of bleeding and my items probably won't be able to handle all the damage from Chaos 10. But I just wanted to test it. I just wanted to give it a test. See if we can handle this. So far, of course, my damage doesn't cut it. I'm able to survive, but it's not worth it. The speed I would need to kill enemies on this difficulty with my current items is just not enough. So more wife leech of course would definitely help if you can get it. Let's see if I can take the hit from this guy. So Gwaine got the Blaze set completed. Which character page? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Gwaine. And hey, Spawnless. Welcome back, Spawnless. Which I can't pause right now. See, I forgot I'm not playing single player, I'm playing online. So I kind of died by opening my character page. Okay. So, how much damage reduction? Just a second. Well, now that I die once, it's super hard to recover because my stacks are not built. Let's wait a bit. See, you die once and then it's super hard to recover because you don't have the damage reduction stacks on you. I'm gonna give it some time. And can we even... Wait, why is my game still online? Oh, there we go. Now it's not online. So where can I see damage reduction? I never knew the damage reduction can be seen here. Yeah, I don't see it. There is no damage reduction in there. I don't remember it ever being there.
More than flames consume you. Forged by the gods.
But yeah, Chaos 10 would require me to get a little bit more damage reduction to be able to survive it, and mostly I would need more HP and Wife Leech. So let's just exit this. As I said, I just wanted to do a test here. Chaos 10 for now. I need green gear for Chaos 10. I need more damage, more Wife Leech. Yeah, it looks better than I thought. It looks better than I thought. As well. For Chaos 10 I would suggest getting more ranks as well. See, I maxed out the damage reduction and damage here. Legendary Crushing to get extra 20% damage reduction. Legendary Endurance to get extra 20% damage reduction would also be nice. Alright, let's keep going for invasions. I wanna push the invasions to get better wood quality. Invasions is where the good wood is at. High rank invasions though, high rank invasions. You want at least rank 28 invasions, speed running. Look at that, why are you running? Why are you running? So I need to get my invasions at least to rank 19 for now. But it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while because it's a slow process. It's like very time gated, and unless I'm doing some sort of a speedrunning build, which I could do. I could play with my turret build and kind of try and speed it, but still not gonna be super fast. The wall levels, I think the fastest is with the turrets. I don't think there's a faster setup than the turret setup. But she really needs more mobility. She feels very sluggish when it comes to her mobility options. I've only got this skill and my number 1 skill. Increased cooldowns? No. But basically you need around 30 something million defense. Over here you need around 30 something million defense to be able to tank Chaos 8, 9, 10 without a problem. And it is achievable. With party play you can get damage reduction from your teammates when they're using buffs. And I can give my teammates damage reduction myself when I'm using my buffs. And you can also buff each other with damage. For solo it's gonna be a bit more tricky. But this game is super easy when you play it with others. It's not a game that becomes harder when you play it with others, but it's the other way around. It becomes easier when you play it with others. It's designed for team play. But unfortunately the community is kind of close to death. Unless there's been a recent update, so there's that. But if this game had a strong community, it would have been much better. If it was more played, more popular, because you would be able to do much better farming with others. .4. Do you mean this one? No. You have to take a critical hit to take to get the damage reduction. So the damage reduction is there for all the time, but you need to take a critical hit to get this to proc. But the thing I've noticed is I don't even need to take a critical hit to get this to proc. Even a regular hit works the same way bleeding works to build those stacks. Probably should be taking a hit instead of critical hit. They might have kind of messed it up. Yeah, corruption damage. So it's nice because any type of hit works, regardless whether it's damage over time or not, it does work. We'll get those greens though. I really want pistol and gloves. Unique pistol, I mean legendary or whatever it's called, heroic tier 5 pistol and heroic gloves. I'm fine if I don't get the other stuff green. But the most damage I can get would be from a new pistol, new gloves, and then later accessories, which would not be that fast to get. Accessories are the hardest to farm. But I would get some invasion accessories, which should be fine.
Forged by the gods.
Chop, 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 chop those heads and hands. Chop the limbs. Look at this. It's so fun having such a skill in the game. This of course is supposed to be used on bosses because it pierces through armor. Let's see. This one here. Yeah, only 144 people right now, and that's after an update. So, as I said, it probably doesn't go over 300 people after an update playing the game. But the game is fun as long as you can find at least a few people to play together with, that's fine. But just don't think of it as a multiplayer game. Think of it as that single player game that you eventually sometimes, if you're lucky, might end up playing with others. That's why I like streaming the game, because it's easier to find people to play with when streaming. I can play with my viewers can play with me. So win-win for everyone who is streaming or viewing streams of that game. Let's see. But again, I mostly play this game around updates. I make builds, and when I'm done with the builds, I try to move on to something else for a bit. I always return to this game though, I always return. It might be the last update if they don't have enough funds. But think about the console. Think about the console players. I think at the moment they're getting probably more money and more people from consoles rather than Steam. I wish this game didn't turn out the way it did in regards to success. I wish it was more successful, but I understand why it's not so successful, because of the bad decisions at start. It had a bad launch, it had a rough 2 months after the launch until they finally started getting the right things done. And even then, there's still a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing, but they keep doing. They keep trying to copy the annoying, boring systems of Diablo 3 rather than copying the good systems. Like the power creep constantly giving us new chaos levels. It's not the way to go. I'd rather see other things done, like more variety. More balancing, removing the annoying map modifiers. Some map modifiers in this game are just plain boring. Let's see. Yeah, the curse of the Warhammer games. That curse. There haven't been that many Warhammer games that actually have been super successful without eventually closing down. Probably only the strategy games have been super popular. Inquisitor Martyr has had its fair share of success, not that much, but still enough to keep it going. But I, for example, can't stand some of the things in Inquisitor Martyr. They just feel wrong. Plain, outright wrong. There was this super nice Warhammer arena. I'm gonna quickly tell you the name of it. I still keep an open tab of the name of that game. So let me go to my browser and see what the name was of that game. So it was called it was kind of I think it was kind of a version of Warhammer Online, but free to play version, Wrath of Heroes. So if you look up Warhammer Wrath of Heroes, it's a free to play PvP arena. So It was based on Warhammer Online, but was not really Warhammer Online, but I think it was made from the Warhammer Online team for EA, I think. So Wrath of Heroes, if you look Warhammer Wrath of Heroes, this used to be a very fun arena, but back when it released, people didn't want to play that type of game. I think if it had released right now with better graphics and more options, people would have gobbled it up pretty nicely. Vermintide 2 was amazing. I enjoyed Vermintide 2, but it was a bit too difficult for me. The game director, as they were calling the random spawn system, used to do such amazing, atrocious things to me that I just couldn't enjoy a game this difficult. I mean, that's just because I'm a Care Bear. I can't play something that's too difficult. But I enjoy my fair share of challenge sometimes. Just Vermintide felt a little bit too difficult for me. And it was super dependent on good teammates. On having a good team and sticking together, protecting each other. But definitely a good game. Definitely Vermintide was a fun Warhammer game. I got it on day one when it came out. Actually even pre-ordered, I think. Yeah, exactly. Warhammer Online Wrath of Heroes, it was fun though. It was definitely fun to play. It was one of my favorite arenas to play for a casual few hours, just some little bit of PvP there. Vermintide with third person view, yeah, that might be fun. That definitely might be something I'm willing to give a try. Let's get those fragments farmed. Didn't get much. I should probably switch to the turret build for running those maps. Might be the better option. Private server for the old Warhammer Online is going pretty strong. Well, that's nice. That's nice that the private server is going strong. I'm just kind of not in the mood to play MMO games recently. I mean, I keep giving some of the new MMOs a try, but eventually they do feel too MMO-y for my current taste. I used to love grinding in MMOs, but now I can't mentally stand the grinding. I feel super bad when I'm grinding. I've had my fair share of grinding for stuff and farming for certain things for months to get them. Like in Ion, there was this paralysis godstone that back in the day when I played Ion, me and my friends would keep farming on Wobies, mind you. We needed to be farming on Wobies because the highest chance to get this godstone to upgrade your weapon with paralysis was on some low level enemies, so we kept making twinks and farming those enemies, and as soon as we outleveled the enemies we would make a new twink and get it back there. So, and we spent few months just to try and get this godstone. So we had our fair share of grinding in different MMOs and different games. But right now I feel like hack and slash games are just what I need, just what suits me best. Fast-paced combat, still having to farm and grind for some gear, but not that much, and not having to grind for levels. This is my typical perfect game, something like this one. Of course, there's a lot of bad things about this game that I wish were different, like the itemization system and the end game content. But I'm a big fan of how this game is super fast to reach max level, and from there you're still leveling legendary ranks, but even without those legendary ranks you can still farm and you can still experiment with builds. I've got all the skill points, I've got all the passive points, god skill, favor points I mean, for the god skills. Oh, I forgot to switch to the turret build. Well, after this map, if I don't forget again.
Dwarven flames consume you.
Come on.
Forged by the gods.
Oh, 47 mil. I hope it's this way that I need to go.
Let the dwarven flames consume you. Forged by the gods.
Move. The Old Coffin Spirit. Oh, interesting name. Also, I don't like this transformation system like the one in Wolsen. Oh, don't worry. This one here, you only need to use that to farm fragments. That's the only reason why I would use this Bloodlust mode. So think of it as something you're only using to farm fragments when you need fragments. It's not something that would make you overpowered. So don't think of it as something important. So the only reason why I use it is if I want fragments, and there's places where you wanna be using this. There's some invasion nodes that you can spam, which are kind of a single circular arena with constant enemies coming your way. I'm gonna show you. They're called swarms or something like this. So I'm just gonna sell quickly, and then I'm gonna show you the perfect place to be farming red orbs and using your bloodlust. So there's 4 or 5 of those places in the invasion map. So one of them is this, then another one here, another one here. Those ones are not that bad either, and those ones, but one of the best ones is probably that one here, and that one here. Not sure about that one, but this one and this one are probably the best. So I'm gonna quickly show you, just to demonstrate. So you see, this is enemies constantly coming, and you can just keep putting those orbs, keep getting the bloodlust, and just using the bloodlust to get fragments out of them. So as soon as you get one of the circles finished, you can activate it like this, and now you start farming fragments and more orbs. And see how many fragments they're dropping. So if you need fragments, this is the best place to do it. And sometimes you might be able to even do multiple activations of this thing at once on a single run. So if you're having troubles with the blessings of an item, well, do those. Then you can spam them, no need to get any materials, keys, etc. You can see I got quite a few fragments. There's some wood as well, but the wood is not that great at low ranks. But if you do this at rank 28, rank 30 something, it's gonna be even good chance of getting some nice items out of it too. And this is where you get some of those blessings fragments. Pretty nice place for farming. It's probably one of my favorite if I wanna be farming fragments. Well, since I was here, might as well do that one. But player-made content, if they allow modding for Chaosbane, it would be great. If someone takes it upon themselves to do player-made content, this game can be revived, because players come up with good ideas. Modding in ARPG hack and slash games has always been amazing. Just look at the Diablo 2 community, just look at the Torchlight 2 community. That's two examples of hack and slash games that have their supporters, multiple supporters playing modded versions of the games. Look at Grimdown, going super strong with modding. Grimdown has amazing mods that convert the game to a Diablo 2 game. It also has a mod that has the Diablo 3 masteries and the Titan Quest masteries and all of that. So Grimdown right now with player-made content is going super strong, which keeps people buying the game and playing it and buying the expansions. So the core game gets supported a lot by people playing mods. Because you do need the core game to play mods, so opening up your ARPG for mods is nice. And since this game has offline modes, mods can work well with that. And if they open even the online mode to mods, that's fine. I mean, currently people can cheat online, so if they can cheat online, then they should be able to use mods. I mean, if my game is gonna have cheaters, at least give us some modding. So we can at least take advantage of that, of the game being open to modifications and stuff. There was this one viewer that used to play with us, and I kept asking him every time how can he have all 4 heroic skills on the dwarf, on the male dwarf. How can he give us all the buffs at once? And he kept saying it's a glitch, it's a bug. Then we found out it was actually some sort of a trainer or whatever that was allowing him to to have access to all the heroic set bonuses at once. I was trying to get him to spill the beans and to admit it, but he wouldn't. Then another one of my viewers kind of posted it in the official forums, a screenshot of such a tool, which is not the best way to post some things. It's not allowed to be posted in the official Discord. It was shameless, I mean... I would have been fine if he admitted it. I would not have grouped up with him more, but I really wanted to get him to spill the beans. Because the first time I really thought it was a bug. But it's weird how he's the only one getting the bug and me, when I'm playing on the same character, I'm not getting the bug. And if there is a bug, most likely I would know about it at that time. Because I played so much on that character on Bragi. If there was a bug, I should have encountered it, because Bragi was the one I played the most on. So yeah, in the end he never admitted it, but someone else found the tool that he probably was using.
More than flames, consume you!
And it's weird. It is weird. I mean, I'm fine with people cheating solo. Play solo, cheat all you want, but if you start teaming up with others, at least have the decency to switch off the trainers and whatever other tools you're using. Because it's making the game a bit easier for everyone, and some people might wanna be playing the real challenge of the game. Even if it's unreasonably difficult sometimes with some of the map modifiers. Powder carrier helmet. Okay, I don't think I had this one as a green. And this drops at 4000 wood quality already. Nice. But as I said, I've gotten green items at 2500 wood quality even. It's just RNG. The numbers are high, but at least they're using M and K. But look at Wosen. In Wosen I still can have 100 million crits and stuff like that. But the numbers don't get what's it called? What was that? Cramped. No, it wasn't cramped. Crunched. The numbers don't get crunched to M and K. So I'd much rather see this in Wosen. MK, so I can easily tell how much damage I'm doing. I've already forgotten about Wosen, and I've been playing Wosen for 5 years since it released on Steam, the very early first version of the game on Steam. So it's one of the games I don't forget. I always return to Wosen the same way I always return to this game. Well, yeah, some of the things in Wosen don't make sense. I'm not gonna say anything about the art, because I do like the art, but there's other things in there that feel kind of wrong to me, but it's never too late for a game to redeem itself. Of course, a bad launch and bad few first weeks of the launch can hurt a game, Chaosbane the perfect example of bad first couple of months. If you see the Steam charts history on this game, you would see how the player base kept bleeding out until there was just a few of us playing it in the summer that it launched. So it launched on June. By August, most people have already quit the game. Then in September and October they released some updates that kind of started taking it in the right direction, but not nearly enough. And in December, the Tom King's update kind of took a good step in the right direction, but again there was so much bad balancing in some of the weaker skills not being as viable as they should be, and they still aren't, as far as I can tell from the patch notes. Just looking for some upgrades. Not finding them though. Alright, let's show you the turret setup. I'm gonna play on the turret build with the lead splitter, spitter, and which ring do I wanna get? Do I wanna play with the siege breaker? Oh, I've got a second lead spitter. Now this is something that calls for a crit chance 15%, but I'm gonna lose 7 cooldown reduction. See, this is the hard choices the game is making me make. Oh man, Well, I'm gonna go for the crit chance, I guess, for now. And I had a ring I wanted to equip. I think I'm gonna do it like this. I normally use the Fiery Ring of Tori and I wanna probably get this pendant, but let's keep it like that. So yeah, with the turret build, the old coffin spirit, thank you for the follow, really appreciate it. And yeah, I've played a lot of Grim Dawn. My brother got early access of Grim Dawn in its early alpha days. Since then until now, I played a lot of time on his account before getting my own account a few years ago. I think a couple of years ago I got myself Grim Dawn for my own account. So another game I've played since the super early games when the final boss was the Warden. The Warden was the final boss, and this zone in Burrowitch under the bridge, I keep forgetting the name of this zone, was the only end game we had back then. That hidden zone. Grim Dawn for many people is the best ARPG. For me, the one with the most things I like, but coincidentally with the most things I dislike, is Path of Exile. So Path of Exile has the most things in an ARPG I enjoy, but it also has so many things I don't like that I just can't play the game due to those things there. But Grim Dawn has given me so much playtime with my brother, with my real life friends. We were playing that a lot. I just don't like having to re-level new characters to 100 every time I want to try a new build. If Grim Dawn had a mastery reset, respec, which it does with the Grim Stash. I mean, with Grim Stash I can take a level 100 character and make it a tabula rasa character, a fresh start without any masteries, but I don't want to have to do this to start a new character and make builds. And the thing I enjoy the most in games is just respecing making builds. That's why I like games where I can reach the end game quickly, or make an end game only character, so I can just start playing with the builds. Path of Exile again is it's kind of enslaving its player base to the meta. If you're not playing a meta build, you're not gonna be doing bosses, you're not gonna be clearing the labyrinth fast enough to be viable. You're not gonna be doing all the other content fast enough if you're not playing a meta build. And sometimes you need a meta build to even complete the content. I'm fine of meta builds allowing you to complete the content fast, but there should be a bit more balance, a bit more variety, and one of the main things, as I said, is I'm a Care Bear player. I die a lot, and Path of Exile just doesn't work for people that die a lot like me. And I can't have fun unless I'm the maximum level, unless I have all the skills unlocked, and I can freely respec. It just personally the way I am. That's why Path of Exile is not the greatest game if there's XP loss on that for me. Some people enjoy the XP loss, some people say there should be a bigger XP loss in games. Well, I think it should be optional. I think players should be able to opt in and out of the XP loss, and opting out of the XP loss kind of opts you out of the rewards you can get from the leagues. for example. Like if Path of Exile had an option to to remove yourself from the league, from the competition, but not lose XP when you die, I would have been doing it probably. Testing a little bit of everything every league. Caps of MS and AS, is that movement speed and attack speed? Movement speed and attack speed caps. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. And you can tell a lot by how dead the game is based on the number of content creators making content for it. I'm not sure there's many other people making content for Chaosbane on YouTube right now. Back when the game launched there used to be quite a few. Now it's probably just me. Which I guess is good for me, but it's sad to see that the game doesn't have that much popularity. And I try to make content for games I enjoy playing. I'm never gonna make content for a game I didn't have fun playing. Unless it's some sort of a sponsored content, but I always would tag sponsored content so people can tell. Let's see, cooldown reduction 29. Alright, I'm gonna use the one with the more cooldown reduction for now. Exactly, a game should cater to the hardcore players, to the players who wanna get punished severely, who wanna get challenged, but it also should cater to the casual players. I think Chaosbane is good in this regard because you don't have to do Chaos 8, 7, 9, 10, etc. to be getting the best gear in the game. So a more casual player can always go and do Chaos 5, Chaos 6, Chaos 4, something like that, and still get the best gear they can get and still enjoy the game at their own difficulty setting. But if someone wants to be pushing their limits and testing their build, they can always increase the difficulty. Who is king at the moment? I don't think there is a king. I think all of the games for me are not providing enough. All of the games in the industry right now have a lot of things I don't like, so I'd rather have no king than have to pick a king in the ARPG market. Grim Dawn probably has the least amount of things I don't like. I think the king at the moment is bad decisions developers are making. This is the king in the ARPG market right now. Bad game design and bad decisions. This is the king in the ARPG industry right now. Many games have such great things and then they add one or two features that are just too annoying or too boring or too grindy, and yeah. But Grim Dawn probably has the least amount of things I dislike. Just the grindiness of having to re-level and just even with the updates, the visual updates, the combat updates, I don't know, something about the combat of Grim Dawn always felt wrong to me. Maybe it's the engine, just maybe the engine is not for me, even though they did a lot of updates for the past few years. I think the majority of the players want the things I dislike, and that's why I can't enjoy the games that are popular. Because the majority of the players enjoy different things than I do. I'm the minority here, I'm part of a small minority of more casual players, more Care Bearish players. And you can't be serving the minority. If you want your game to be successful, I understand the developers want to be catering towards the people who actually are the bigger part of the community. But Grim Dawn probably really does have the most features that I enjoy in a game. I've just played it so much that I'm kind of bored of it. I'm bored of the game as a general, not bored of the story, not bored of the grind or anything like that. I've just played it so much that I'm just burned out on Grim Dawn. The most things I enjoy in a game are in Torchlight 3, but I can't stream it. It's currently in a non-disclosure agreement, so until they remove the non-disclosure agreement, I'm not gonna really be streaming it. And since if I don't stream and play a game, it's not really good for me. It's not really responsible if I play a game for long hours without streaming it or making content. It's not productive for my channels, for my Twitch, YouTube or Mixer channels. I enjoy Torchlight 3 and I've spent more than 1,000 hours streaming and playing Torchlight Frontiers and Torchlight 3. So you can see it's probably the game I spent the most time in the past few years playing. It has the most features in a game I like, even though it's an alpha game, which tells you probably a lot about the type of player I am, I guess. The type of casual player, filthy casual. But not everyone likes the cartoonish art style of Torchlight's universe. Torchlight has always been the opposite of Diablo. It's made from the same people who made Diablo, but they wanted to make something that's on the other spectrum of the genre. So Max Schaefer and I think Eric Schaefer created Runic Games and created Torchlight 1 and 2, and now Max Schaefer is the owner of Extra Games, who is behind Torchlight 3. Diablo 4 probably would not be that great. I mean, it's still probably, not probably, it's still 100% gonna be a success in regards to sales. Because people buy Blizzard games before they're even out. Blizzard games make a ton of money before they even launch. So even if the game fails as a game, as a public favorite, there's gonna be a lot of content creators content creators whose career depends on making Diablo 3 content. All of those would be making Diablo 4 content, regardless whether they like it or not. There's gonna be a lot of players playing it. There's always people who like something. There's gonna be a ton of pre-orders just because it's a Blizzard game. I mean, I'm not gonna pre-order it. I can tell you I'm not gonna pre-order another Diablo game until I'm sure it's great. So I'd rather wait and not overhype myself. I think 2022 is a realistic date for Diablo 4. 2 years from now, September 2022 maybe, something like that. So 2.5 years from now is probably where I see Diablo launching itself, in that kind of window. Quarter 2, late quarter 2 of quarter 3 I mean, late quarter 3 or early quarter 4 of 2022 is my estimation, based on what they've shown us over the past few months. But I'm bad at estimating, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. Well, they're trying to think about something that's not too difficult for players to understand. I think they're trying to simplify the games for teenagers and not adolescents, but pre-teens. I think they're trying to get a broader audience in Diablo, which is not good. If they're making an 18 plus game, why are they simplifying attack and defense stats? You want an 18 plus audience, you want to be making the game gory and bloody and all of that, but then they're making a simplified attack defense system which caters to mobile games and to players playing mobile games and to children who play those games. So yeah, that's one of the weirdest things about Diablo 4. I mean, I want to see how it works. Sometimes a simplified attack defense system can go a long way, but that's not Diablo fans are used to. You wanna be making something familiar to your fans. Even if you want to innovate, you still wanna be making something that your fans would enjoy. They've so far nailed a lot of things in Diablo 4 well. They've nailed a lot of things. They reworked the huts. If you saw 2 weeks ago, I think there was a blog post on the Blizzard forums about Diablo 4. So they reworked some of the huts after player feedback. Some players said they don't like the brightness of the item card colors, etc. So they make them look a little bit darker. And they were showing some experimentation they were doing with the hut. So on PC you would be able to have the hut over here and here, left and right. Or maybe it was just on that side. Um, but you would also be able to have it in the middle, how some people are used to doing it. On console, you're gonna have it in the corner because most people watch from afar. So that's another thing they're experimenting, adding the console hut on PC. But that's just some quality of life stuff, that's not something too important. But they showed some art style, new art style for the different factions in Hell. So that's gonna be interesting as well. They showed us the cannibals and some of the other factions there. I mean, I'm gonna wait and see what Diablo is. I'm not gonna overhype myself and set myself up for disappointment. I'd rather hype myself when the game is like a few days before launching. Controller support is nice, yeah. And since they're developing Diablo 4 simultaneously for console and PC, that's why it's gonna naturally come with the controller support. This game also has been developed for console and PC simultaneously, even though in the past they have been releasing updates with delay on console. This is the first update that came at the same time on console and PC, by the way, and the Forges update. You can play with up to 4 people on the same computer on PC on this game. So you can have 3 people with controllers and 1 with mouse and keyboard on the same PC. Hot seat, couch co-op, whatever you wanna call it. This is a strong thing that no other game I think in the genre can offer right now. One of the strong points about Chaosbane is this, but even this would not be enough to make some people play it. It's definitely a nice feature for couples, for example, or siblings. People who live in the same place, or even if you want to play with your friends who are visiting and you can let them play one of your characters. It's not bad if you kind of have the PC connected to a big monitor or to a big TV. It's gonna be nice. Yeah, many people are so self-found. I think so self-found players would enjoy this game the most. Because if you're a SSF player, you won't be bothered by the whack of people playing Warhammer Chaosbane. I think probably this is the one demographic that this game caters towards the most, the so self-found players who like challenging themselves. Unfortunately, the game is designed around multiplayer. The more people you have in the party from different classes or on different builds from the same class, the stronger you will be, because you would be giving each other buffs from heroic skills or from god skills. Like with this one, I can give my teammates 30% damage reduction and movement speed and projectiles shooting from around us. With this one, I can give my teammates another 20% damage reduction. And there was another thing. I don't think I've equipped it, but there was another thing that works well for damage reduction to teammates. Definitely nice playing with a team. And playing with your girlfriend because of auras. Have your girlfriend be that auramancer, the aura bot. And healers. In MMOs it was the classic. Some guild leaders having their girlfriends playing the healer. I'm not sure why that's the stereotype female healers in games. I guess because they enjoy supporting. But I've heard some super ragey players in MMO games raging at bad healers, and you gotta be kind of honest. Like, if the healer is a girl, you don't wanna be yelling too much, cause she might end up rage quitting. I mean, they're a bit more emotional sensitive, so kind of that's how it is with MMO sometimes. Gotta adapt to the different players. But I've heard some ragers that, I don't know, they're raging a bit too much. It might be the healer's fault, but even then, not everyone is perfect. I mean, I'm the perfect example of a person that is super bad at some games. And that's why I never claim to be good at certain games. I try to make builds that work, but not always. I don't always make meta builds. Sometimes I would make a meta build, but since I'm not a meta player, using the best build would still get me killed, because I'm not pressing the right buttons at the right time. By the way, this labyrinth, Rudo, if you remember Rudo, that's right, up, up, down, up. This is how you solve this. So right, up. So we did the right, then we're going up. Then another up. Then down. And then up. This is how you solve this. This is the fastest way I know of solving this. Maybe there is a faster way, but I just do it like this. Right, up, up, down, up. Super easy to remember. Rudu. So let's keep pushing there. We're getting there. 58% completion on this rank. No, aneurysm, I was saying that after the run is done, after the party wiped. I'm talking about people raging at the healer after it's all over. After the party has already wiped. And of course it's always easy to blame the healer, but sometimes it's also the tank's fault for losing aggro. Sometimes it's the DPS fault for staying inside broadcasted attacks. I mean, even if you're a DPS, you have to be a bit clever. You don't have to stay in the middle of the damage. I normally play DPS roles, and sometimes in MMOs you have to adapt, and boss mechanics are not always easy. MMOs are famous for those hard boss mechanics. I mean, there's in the big MMOs you can see people competing for who would be able to complete a boss for the first time after it gets introduced and things like that. Who would get that party synergizing well. I also am not a big fan of rows. That's why I like ARPGs. In ARPGs you don't always have the Holy Trinity, which is nice not having it sometimes, not needing to worry about it. Although I think Guild Wars 2 probably suffered a lot by not introducing Holy Trinity. Um, Eventually people kind of got bored of not having those clear roles. Yeah, you can still have bunker builds there and be the tanky guy, and you can still have people healing and so on. Guild Wars 2 probably has been my favorite ARPG after Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 1 I enjoyed the most probably. Guild Wars 1, Lineage 2, those were the games I enjoyed playing a ton of PvP in. Guild Wars 2 now just got a rebalance, by the way, speaking of MMOs and Guild Wars stuff. It got a rebalance in the PvP. Before it was very limited when it came to builds. You couldn't play a staff mage and do damage. You got to be kind of like a bunker build with staff. Be the supporty guy that can probably kill one person, but after a lot of time, trying to kill that one person. I've had times where I would play a bunker staff mage on Guild Wars 2 and I would be tanking 3 people in the same point and not getting killed because I would be porting, teleporting, moving, healing, getting that protection, but I wouldn't be able to kill either of those because I'm just too focused on my healing. Yeah, Berserker stat sets, that's what everyone was doing back then. I was not. I was playing that bunker mage. I refused to play dagger and wand or dual dagger mage. Although I did play it a few times, but I didn't want to play dagger mage. It felt weird for me playing a dagger or dagger scepter mages. I wanted to be playing that staff guy with the AoEs. I mean, I could hold a point until my teammates arrive. But yeah, now I'm not sure how it is. My real life friends are actually still playing it. They returned like a month ago. They went back to playing Guild Wars 2. Not sure if they still play it. Maybe they're back to the Division 2. They're PvP freaks. They're the people who enjoy PvP. I no longer am a PvP freak. I enjoy PvE much more than PvP now. Before I used to hate PvE. I used to kind of get sick in my mouth when I say PvE. Now it's kind of the other way around, I guess. Before I used to like PvP all the time. If it was open PvP game like Lineage 2, I would be doing that all the time. Olympiads, sign me up as well. I love that Olympiad system in Lineage 2. This is what I enjoy right now. I mean, I guess as I grew up, I started enjoying PvE more and more and PvP less. Because PvP, I guess it's much harder to balance. And sometimes if it's a team game and you don't synchronize and synergize well with your teammates, it just doesn't feel fun. Sometimes I would end up playing with some randoms and we would be thinking the same way and we would be doing the same sneak attacks, counter attacks kind of playstyle. The opposite of the logical playstyle, doing what the opponents are not expecting us to do. That's normally how I do PvP. I do kind of think outside the box. Sometimes I would find teammates that think with me and we would steamroll the enemy team. Sometimes they would be doing the exact opposite thing, and of course we would be disorganized. So for me it's super difficult to find people who play PvP the way I do. When I do though, it's super nice. Because I always try to think about strategies and kind of doing what people are not expecting you to do, to outsmart the opponent. Because in most games, you know, people adapt a certain playstyle and everyone does that because that's the meta. But there's always a counter to that if you think about it. And if you take advantage of it, it works well.
Let not dwarven flames consume you. Forged by the gods.
Do people in Guild Wars 2 still go only for Berserker stats gear? I don't really know much. ARPG customization depth? Well, some ARPGs have a lot of customization depth, some don't. But yeah, I think ARPGs, hack and slashes have a lot of customization compared to MMOs. With MMOs, making mistakes is a bit punishing. Respecking in MMOs, it's a bit punishing. In some of the RPGs you can level up a character quickly and respec quickly and for free. Just look at Chaosbane, it's not punishing me when I make a mistake. I can change my skills, I can change my passives, I can completely respect my god skills without being punished. By the way, something that you may not know. Before we needed to pay points to respect our god skills. So we needed to pay fragments. We needed to pay those fragments to remove god skill points. But then they changed this because they saw how punishing it felt. And I'm a big fan of this decision. This is one of the good decisions they made when it came to this game, allowing us to freely respec our passive tree without any cost whatsoever. Alright. He's probably just listening, or maybe has two monitors and is watching at the monitor while playing. I mean, if you're not playing some of the hard difficulties, for example right now I'm not playing something that difficult. This is Chaos 2 rank 10 invasion. You don't need that much concentration for that. Gotta push those invasions though. Invasions is where you get the most wood quality you can get. But it's boring to get through the easy and kind of trivial even at times invasion nodes. Cooldown increased map? Yeah, cooldown increased map. Not the best one for this build, for the turret build. What about the energy? When I stop fighting I lose energy every second. Okay, so that's annoying. Cooldowns and energy debuffs. I'm gonna have to kill enemies as I go. This is gonna take a little longer than normal. If it's a cooldown increased map, I'm better off playing the melee build. It doesn't get affected that much by cooldowns, other than not being able to get the dual chain reaction. The rest would be fine. Let's try and push them towards the turrets. At least make the most out of the long cooldowns on this map. I'm gonna take those orbs. Are they gonna come here? There. This doesn't have a cooldown, so the perfect map to use my Bloodlust on. So yeah, Bloodlust did help me. Perfect example now. See, with the long cooldown I couldn't spam that much, because my energy also goes down, but with the Bloodlust I can spam as much as I want without worrying about the energy going down. It's faster than my basic melee skill. Well, this one's done, but should I try and get the chest? There should be a big chest here. Yeah, big chest. Alright, we can leave after this elite is dead. Getting there though. Are we gonna finish this today? Pinched your wife's monitor. Okay. Interesting. So now we've got Chaos 3, Chaos 2 and here is Chaos 4. So I'm gonna leave those for late. I wanna do those first. Let's see, what's this? The boss fight. Got him stuck there. There we go. So you could, if you reach the high ranks, this boss fight would always be Chaos 2. But for example, if I've got another 20 invasion ranks, that would have been 2000 wood quality more. This fight just now was 3100 wood quality at rank 10 invasion. So rank 35, that would be 3,500 more wood quality. It would be very nice to farm it, to speedrun it. That's why invasion ranks are so nice when you push them, to get that wood quality. And you're getting a quick boss fight done there. Quick boss fight that can give you those god tokens and some fragments and some gear. And money as well. Pretty nice money from bosses, I think. Alright, turrets, do your thing.
Dwarven flames consume me.
Come on. I still think the turret build is probably the most speedy one on Keela. So if you want to be maximizing it, you probably would want to be doing that. Just need to figure out a way to make it even faster. Maybe I'm missing some skill that would be nice for movement other than explosive rush. Maybe some god skill that gives more movement speed other than this one. Just more cooldown reduction probably would be the best. Was that Chaos 3? I think it was. And this one, Chaos 3. Okay, I'm gonna try and get some fragments from that run. I wish there was a bigger pickup radius for those Bloodlust orbs. Yet another run with the orbs. See, I could activate these 2 times. So this is what I mean by good for farming fragments. Managed to activate the Blood Rage, the Bloodlust 2 times. And as you know, enemies drop more fragments during that that transformation. And you can repeat this note as much as you want. If you want fragments, you just keep spamming this note. And of course on higher invasion ranks, it's not gonna give you more fragments, but it's gonna give you better wood quality for other items, so it might be worth it to even farm it for gear. With this build, if I want to farm it without fragments just for gear, I can just spam turrets, because it's always gonna be a Chaos 3. That means it's always gonna be easy, even if I'm at invasion rank 50-60, which is probably super hard to reach on Keela solo. But even if someone has the patience to get the ranks that high, all you're gonna need to do is just spam turrets. That's why I think being able to change the difficulty of those nodes to something more difficult would be nice, so that people can challenge themselves while doing the invasion easy nodes. I think it's this way maybe. No, doesn't seem like it. Come on. Look at those missiles from the turrets. The range of those missiles from the turrets are super nice. Look at that. Oh, well, I went right into the poison. This is me making a rookie mistake. Going inside the poison of a screamer. Ah, move! Fuck. Okay. Almost died again. What's the map modifier? Maximum health decreases over time. Oh, and armor permanently reduced. This is why this poison is so OP, because it makes so many hits per second that it shreds your armor. This screamer's poison.
Dwarven flames consume you. Forged by the gods.
Come on. We're almost there. And it's dead. How am I doing with the invasions? I think I'm at 65-70% already. 65, yeah. Taking a long time. I could probably get it to 70 something percent and then move on to do some relic hunts again, because it's boring doing the same thing over and over.
Flames consume you.
We're now at 3.4 good quality, so it's not gonna be that good farm wise.
Forged by the gods. Dwarven flames consume you.
Come on. Those stuns from the meteors, wow.
Let my dwarven flames consume you.
Ah, wrong way, okay. Ah, fuck, another stun.
Let my dwarven flames consume you.
Could it be this way? No. Really need a more mobile build for speedrunning for her though.
Dwarven flames consume
Have to figure out something later. Medium chest. Ah, those stuns hurt. Kind of wasted this, should have waited before using it.
Dwarven flames consume you. Forged by the gods.
There we go. Next. Okay, we can start going here. We can push down until the boss fight, do the boss fight, and then move on to doing some relic hunts. I want those one shots.
Forged by the gods. Dwarven flames consume me.
Oh, horn chest. Oh, come on. Faster, faster. I'm gonna skip some of the fights now. At this wood quality I could skip some of the fights just to make the runs faster. Kind of got stuck.
Forged by the gods.
And we're getting close. Maybe this way? Maybe this way? And here it is. Next. What's next? Let's see. Is it the swarm or is it the boss fight? Okay. First this and then the little boss fight and then the big boss fight. So once I do this I'm gonna go back to doing some relic hunts. And then come back to the invasions later. It just gets so boring and repetitive doing those invasions over and over.
Forged by the gods. Dwarven flames.
Hopefully I can complete the harder ones with the cooldown reduction, ammo decrease, etc. Ooh. Keep forgetting to sell that stuff for fragments.
Forged by the gods. Dwarven flames consume you.
Thankfully if it drops something off screen I can see it on the minimap, if it's a green or red item. Should have saved those orbs for after the duration expired.
Let not dwarven flames consume you. Forged by the gods. Dwarven flames consume you. Forged by the gods.
Done with this. Now champion. I think this was the champion with the magic boats shooting. If I'm not mistaken, it should be him. The one with the wings. Yeah, it is him.
Forged by the gods.
Let's sell. Gromril with crit chance, crit damage. Okay, maybe I'm gonna save that Gromril. Insulation cooldown and crit chance and damage, and that's a nice insulation ring. Mine is armor piercing and crit chance. Definitely an upgrade for me. Anyway, I look at it, it's gonna be an upgrade. Okay. Let's do this. Let's upgrade that ring and equip it. So more cooldown reduction gained. Losing 0.3 crit chance, but gaining flat damage. You can see it's a good boost. Why is the other one with 0.8%? Is it the armor piercing? Probably the armor piercing is giving me that more DPS. Just on paper though. Maybe I can keep this at 40% and start working towards legendary crushing. Although it would be nice to have 200 points spent in each of those eventually. How many more maps? 3 more maps. And then we're going for relic hunts for greens. But yeah, if you're new, it's totally worth pushing the invasions eventually for higher wood quality. And if someone wants to, I can someday take you on high rank invasions with my other characters. My dwarf has them pushed the furthest. Oh boy, what happened? Exploding enemies? I think it's exploding enemies, right? Oh no, just permanently reduced armor and permanently reduced HP. One of those maps, the annoying ones.
Forged by the gods. Forged by the gods.
Just making sure I'm not taking many hits. On maps like those, I always like dying before the boss, so I can reset my armor if it was reduced to something low. Quick death before the boss goes a long way to reset your reduction of HP and armor.
Forged by the gods.
Okay, no chest, no boss. Getting there.
Dwarven flames consume you.
kind of a longer map again. Those known maps tend to be kind of long sometimes. Oh, and the greeny-green builder's helmet. I think I've already got one, but maybe I'm gonna have one with cooldown reduction now. Yes, cooldown reduction. Sorry, had to mute myself to sneeze. If you're wondering what the pew 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 was. Yeah, cooldown reduction for the turret build. All you need for the turrets is just to spam them as much as you can, and so you can spam those god skills. See, that's 12 seconds, that's 14 seconds already. Pretty nice. This is 3 seconds. I think this skill is 8 seconds, but now it's 3 seconds, so cooldown reduction that I've got right now is 64%. That's amazing cooldown reduction. And considering that I've got procs from my rings and from one of my rings and from the necklace, it's also nice. This is the more spammy setup, I guess. Speedrunning. Hello Cody, hello Jim. Cody, I can tell you, Cody, that Keela is great. She has some fun builds that you can do, some fun sets for you to explore. I'm loving the melee build, I'm loving the turret build, I'm loving the mortar build, and there's another one that's a bit tricky to build around, but basically this one, the blaze set. So this is the set. Some people might want to build it for damage over time, but other people would rather build it for fire damage skills. So one of my viewers suggested building with excavation mustard and with this heroic gelatinous speech, and using things like mechanical hits or upgraded radiator. Yeah, pretty interesting. So this one would be melting bosses apparently, with this and with the set. But I love playing the turret and the melee builds more. Alright, Prague invasion. You can see I'm trying to kind of rush it for those boring, easier difficulty maps. So basically spamming turrets and running for the easier difficulties, what I do with this build. Enough cooldown reduction definitely goes a long way with the turret build. Okay, something red dropped again. Really didn't need this one, but still. I'm collecting the reds for donating them to the NPC for fragments. Any cooldown increase here? Nope. Come on. Okay, this one has been done. Let's just get some fragments here, and next is the boss fight, the Act 1 boss fight invasion node. I'm loving those loading screens they've added. Ah, shit, he went into another phase. I couldn't burst him fast enough. Okay, there's that. So now I'm gonna go and do some relic hunts and come back to invasions later. What chaos am I on? Chaos 10? Well, let's not do chaos 10, let's go to chaos 7 and go for this build. Oh yeah, I will. In fact, I'm planning on making one tomorrow. I just want to get a little bit more green items, but I will be making 4 builds for her, one for each set. Probably the melee first, then I would make the turret and the mortar once. But with the melee set yesterday I completed Chaos 9 relic hunt without dying. And it didn't take me that long to complete it, so it was fine. This build that I'm playing right now, the melee one. I'm currently playing it on Chaos 7. Just trying to get a bit more good items, but I guess that's gonna take a while. Yeah, we'll see what comes out. I mean, I can always show you while streaming what passives and what god skills and active skills I'm using. And this can always be seen on stream. So if you want some ideas of how to play her for now, feel free to ask. I can give you ideas for every set. But I do love 2 god skills. I love the 2 god skills I'm using right now. Those 2 god skills together give you 50% damage reduction when you stack them. See. I'm gonna start building into crushing soon. Let's see this. But yeah, the highest crit so far that I've done with this gear, green hammer, green boots, green helmet, the highest crit yesterday was 59 million. In this circle you're seeing on the ground, it's giving me 200% damage when I hit enemies that are inside the circle. So the damage is not really that constant with this pistol. There's a better pistol to use, but I don't have that good of a version of it. And for mobbing it's not gonna be better because it takes a while to build up to 100 stacks on the enemy. But it can give me up to 300 damage on burning enemies. Stacks of 3%, so I need to build 100 stacks to get. But it would be better if I use that pistol. It's called Forge Butt. That's why I'm using the flame turret to help build up Forge Butt. Build those stacks. And it's not just those stacks, other stacks are getting built up as well quickly. Forge hard, a hammer. Okay. Where was the relic chest? Here. Am I using the farming pendant? Yes, I am. Powder carrier gauntlets, not bad. Let's see here. Taking the reds. Right, this. I can only imagine how big the damage would be with a good green pistol of that one I showed you that I want to be using. It could probably go all the way to 100 mil. Probably. If I can get 59 with 200% extra damage without green pistol and without green gauntlets and without having 2 green rings and a green amulet for more damage. And wife steel is nice. Wife leech. Pretty nice. Chest here? Nope. You see just my turrets, the damage from my turrets. Let's see how much damage they do. They don't do even a million. Oh, just did 4 million. But that was the explosion, I think, from overheating. Wait, I missed the chest there. Always open the chests that are around the relic one before the relic one, because look at the wood quality now. Now this will go 900 below. See? You lose that 900 bonus after you open the relic chest. So make sure you wood everything else before it. So... junk. This actually might be worth keeping. This is another thing that would work well with the melee set, because you're using a skill that consumes energy, so every hit would be able to heal you. Right now, with 280k HP, it heals me for 28, so basically it gives you 10% HP heal every time you use your skill. If you use this pistol, so that's another thing that's meant to be used with either with heavy pounding or with that that other one. the fire bread. The I forgot its name, but yeah, the one that shoots a flamethrower. This might be better than mine. Just quickly need to check something. Yeah, that's 200 more damage, roughly, almost. Okay. Time to bless. And what was this one? Powder carrier. One of my favorite things to get is a good gauntlet with crit damage, armor and HP. This one doesn't have the HP, but still. Okay, back to the melee set. So I had that Vawaya's gift 612 3.2, 1230 3.1, but no cooldown. I mean, you don't really need that much cooldown on the melee set, but it's nice to have it for those skills. With enough cooldown, those can be spammable, meaning more survivability. I'm gonna sell this and keep this. Yeah, I've got some hammers to give away if someone wants a Stonebreaker. But the Stonebreaker is kind of weird. You have to play it with the Jetstream. You have to play it with you have to play it with this. The the dissipation, heat dissipation thing. So Chaos 7 runs seem to be the best thing to farm for me with this build for now. Maybe later when I get stronger with better accessories and gauntlets and a pistol, I can go ahead and try and farm Chaos 8 or 9. But with the speed I'm completing Chaos 7 and the amount of greens I'm getting, I'm happy. It's all about killing elites. Elites have been so far my main source of items in the game, of green items. Even chests haven't given me that much. And they made getting legendary ranks easier. So you get you get less bonus stats from legendary ranks. There's a cap on those, but you get the levels faster. So in theory, I think the maximum legendary rank you would need would be how many were they? So 300 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 300 times 6. So what's that? 1800? Because you get what was it? You get 100 the maximum of the power. The power maximum is 100, so 100 points there, and then I think this can go all the way to 200 for 100% chance. I'm not sure whether there's a cap or not on the chance.
Forged by the gods.
So good work to anyone trying to get that much and that many ranks. It's just gonna take forever. But you don't really need that much. The most you need is probably 500 to get 2 of those things at a decent chance and maxed out stats. And that's it for Chaosbane. I don't think you need more than 2 of those for the damage reduction. All you care about is the damage reduction later on for Chaosbane. As long as you can survive, you can kill stuff. And yeah, currently I'm playing on Chaos 7. And for blessings for the gear, for the summoner build for Elessa, I'm not sure what build you're using, Rat. Rat, are you using the build from my video? I would suggest go for HP and damage. If you're not sure about the blessings, always do it that way. If you're not sure, always do this way if you're not sure. Of course, I can show you right now, but you want a red one here. Just don't have the things to give you. But go for HP and damage if you're not sure. If you're using the counter attack based damage, and if it works, I haven't tested if it works after the patch, you can go for counter attack and HP. It would work well. But yeah, for the summoner I think just to boost the damage and the HP and you should be fine. I also have a second summoner build with Elessa, which is not using that dagger but it's using the guardians. I've not made it on a build video, but maybe I could make it after I'm done with the Keela builds. And it was depending on doing more damage to SWAT enemies, and you have to be using you have to be going through your guardians to regenerate energy and to summon your extra dryads, and just to give yourself more damage from the tireless guardians dagger. But yeah, I've not uploaded a build for that, but I have been experimenting with it a couple of months ago. So there's 2 ways to do Elessa. One of them is using poisons and swolves and all of that. Oh, the bug, really? The fucking bug where I can't complete the map. Because the way the game makes the levels, it procedurally generates and stitches up squares of shapes. So this one, for example, connects with this one, which connects with this one, which connects with this one, then this one connects with that and that. So you can see it's split into different quadrants, and this quadrant here is missing. So this has not been fixed since December, and that only happens on Tomb King's maps. So I can quickly go on Elessa just to check what blessings I'm using on my summoner, but I think it was HP and what's its name, and damage, the red and green. didn't wanna. I forgot I shouldn't be entering this. So a lesser summoner set. So if you're using the deadly tips, you probably would want to be going for damage HP. Find like a balance to give you enough HP and enough damage. I think you're probably going for something like this. Assassination, only superior, then cooldown here, about incarnation. I think the pets don't crit, so crit damage doesn't give you much for the pets. So that's one of the builds. The other build is taking this one, Nature's Herald Mustard, instead of the seeds, instead of seeds of blood, and instead of the Defiler's Reckoning Mustard, it's using the Defiler's Reckoning Superior. So that's probably the other build you might be doing that. So I was playing with that setup before, and this one can give you some cooldown, 2% here, then another 2% here, which is 4, then another 6% cooldown reduction, 8%. So that's like an 8% cooldown reduction if you take it all the way to here with the points, if you want more cooldown reduction. And this is basically summons deal more damage to sword, poisoned and rooted, and that's why you're using this for poisoning dryads. This is 5 dryads, this is 4, but those 4 can summon more, so you kind of have to decide. Those 2 points you can spend wherever if you're using and this 1 point. So it's 12 points actually, it's not 10 but 12, because I forgot about this 2% here. You're probably taking this damage, and you might be taking this damage as well. This damage also works, so if you want 1, 2, 3 points removed and then putting them 1, 2, 3, this would work for extra damage. Another one from my video is the ambush, I think was it, or was it, but the ambush I was using on the physical set, because I didn't see it boosting the stuff. And this assassination, it's important to realize how this works. The way I think it works is, and again the developers have not answered my question from December regarding how this works is, but the way I think it works is it deals more damage to champions and bosses, less damage to regular enemies. And this is what it means, enemies with high health. Not enemies that are over 70, over 80, over 90% HP, but enemies with big HP pools. It's a bit badly worded, so it could be confusing. And this is the passives I use in my summoner set right now. Oh, they changed the icon on spinning blades. Nice. And this one also got changed, so you can easily tell which one is physical, which one poison. This one also might have been reworked. Alright, let me quickly check. Alright, so I'm going back to Keela. If you need some gear, by the way, for a lesser, let me know. I've got some in the warehouse, and I've got some in the inventory that I could share with you. Green items, that is. For any class except for Conrad. For Conrad I don't have much in the warehouse, probably just this shield, but I can get some from the hero himself. So yeah. Let's see this. Swanesh, no thank you. Swanesh, no thank you. Tom Kings, yes please. Just not a big fan of Swanesh and Singe. don't like doing Act 3 and 4 because they're OP in regards to modifiers and to enemies and stuff like that. Even though they nerfed some of the enemies, they really didn't nerf them that much. Let's hope it's not another broken map. And by the way, consider on every build you're playing, guys, consider using this. From the new skills, consider using this on any build you play, on the old characters. So if someone is using my old builds, padded armor would go a long way. This is 40 damage reduction. It's just too good not to take it. I'd even remove this if need be. If you don't have room for padded armor, just remove this 10% damage reduction and other stuff and add padded armor instead of it. But if you can remove something else and add this one and this one together, that's fine too. But if it's between those two, I'd suggest this one for higher difficulty pushing. The damage reduction goes a long way. Die. Alright. Oh yes, nice. I could reach him without the map being broken this time. Where is the wood? I need to kill enemies. Okay. Fair enough, we'll kill some enemies. There's some here. Another thing, as I've been saying, I like about this game is I can kill the boss before killing the necessary number of enemies. And I can kill the enemies later, when it's a relic hunt. By the way, I've not tested expeditions. Has anyone tested how expeditions changed? They said they've added quests to those. Wondering what the rewards would be. Because expedition was the mode no one does before. It was the useless mode, like for example in Wosen doing that one, that was the bounty version, the mandates. Here. I want to kill the champion. Oh, and there's another one. I'm gonna kill it too. Greeny green, blaze gauntlets. I'm loving gauntlets. So I've got 4 green pieces of the blaze set, I think, out of 5 now. Or is it 3 pieces out of 5? Let's see the greeny green. Blaze set 3 pieces, okay. Still, the most important piece is the gauntlets, and this one gives me damage. It's under 6000, so it's kind of bad, but it's not worse than a red anyways. And it has wife drain, health drain, and damage, and armor, and HP. Oh, HP is missing. Okay, so instead of energy, I'd rather have HP there. That's what's missing. Okay, let's go and sell. No. Stewart Koenig, welcome to my channel, Jilt. Welcome to the Struck Club. Thank you for the follow. It is appreciated. So blaze gauntlets, I'm selling those. I'm selling this and this and this, and might as well sell this. If anyone needs some red items for Keela, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just selling them. Nice. Now I can upgrade this thing I was trying to upgrade before. There. So another relic hunt. Singe. No, I don't want Singe. Another Tomb Kings with increased cooldowns this time. Alright, I'm gonna do it with increased cooldowns. Not the best thing to be doing, but I guess we're fine. Might end up dying though, if I'm unable to spam my god skills. Or my turrets as well. Oh, there we go. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna push through. Oh, look at how many. I wanna get inside that. In the mosh pit, get into the mosh pit. Alright, let's get some of those. Yeah, I can't keep my duelist chain reaction with this increased cooldown map, because I can't be spamming the turrets for proccing the duelist chain reaction. Thankfully, my main damage comes from an energy skill, so I can kind of spam it. Right, let's get him before he becomes invulnerable. He's in the defensive state, maybe. Right, another level up. How many? That is a lot of XP, so many skeletons and scarabs. Okay, he's not taking much damage now. This is a slow map with this cooldown. Right, moving on. Come on, die, die. Then when they go into that defensive state where I'm barely doing any damage to them, it could be a bit annoying, those skeletons. Oh fuck, I should have waited for my cooldowns before attacking him. Let's kill the archer first, maybe.
Forged by the gods.
Right, next. Where is the wood? Alright, I think I'm back on, but my streaming software seems to have disconnected for a second. But here we are, back. So yeah, let's see. Another relic hunt, and then back to some invasions. Would be nice to get a good forge heart. I really want a green forge heart. What was its name? Not forge heart, the other one, the pistol. Forge blood. This is what I want. So yeah, my streaming software crashed. If you're wondering what happened, my streaming software disconnected for unknown reasons. But we're back up, so that's fine. You know, I don't stop the streams like that. When I stop the streams, I queue the credits and all of that. So if my stream stops suddenly, then it must be some crash or disconnect or whatever. Let's do this.
By the gods.
Come on, come on. There's one more here. He's running. Why are you running? Why are you running? Alright, he's dead. I'm trying to kill all the elites I can find on my way. Especially those hoodie guys. They die quickly and they can still drop greens with a decent rate.
Dwarven flames consume you. Forged by the gods.
Another one of those. Yeah, let's check here. I think there's a chest at the end of that tunnel.